Hi there, welcome to this guide to installing Java, Eclipse and Maven from in 28 minutes. In 28 minutes, we ask ourselves one question every day. How do we create more effective trainings? And this installation guide is the result of that. In this installation guide, you would learn how to install Java, Maven, Eclipse, and then we will learn a few things about how do you import a Java project into Eclipse and how do you import a Maven project into Eclipse. This installation guide is applicable to the varied range of tutorials that we have on our website, starting from Java, Eclipse, Maven, Spring Hibernate, Servlets, JSPs, Spring MVC struts, and extending up to AngularJS REST web services. We also think about the soft side of programming, test-driven development, behavior-driven development, and automation testing as well. Let's start with installing Java. Before we can use Maven and Eclipse, we need to have Java installed. And anyway, we are writing Java programs, right? So let's get Java installed. Search for install Java JDK on Google. The first result would usually be from www.oracle.com. Yeah, now Oracle owns Java and that's where we would download Java from. So click the first link and go to oracle.com and click the Java platform link. We would use Eclipse and not NetBeans. So you don't need NetBeans with JDK. The thing which you would need is Java platform JDK. The version might be a little different at a later point in time, but that's fine. Anything greater than 8, we are good. Click this link. The next thing you need to do is to accept the license agreement. So click this radio button and accept the license agreement. If you are interested, go ahead and read it. And then you can choose the Java install for your operating system. Most important thing is if you're on a Windows operating system, check whether yours is an 64-bit operating system or a 32-bit operating. The way you can do that is right-click My Computer and click Properties. And if you see x64 in there, then this is a 64-bit operating system. So then you can go ahead and download the 64-bit version. If you are on Mac, you can download the DMG file. Double click the exe and wait for the download to complete. Go to the download folder and click the exe. Install launcher launches up. You would see a screen of this kind. What you can do is go ahead and click continue. Once you click continue, a screen comes up where it might be asking about where you want to install it and that kind of stuff. Accept the defaults and click install. Get a coffee, dream about the best thing you want to do, and in a few minutes, Java should be installed on your machine. And you should see a screen, something similar to this. You can click the close button, you have Java installed. That's it. So the steps were go to the Oracle website, download it, and install it. It's quite simple. Let's check if Java is really properly installed. The way you do that is opening the command prompt up or terminal. In Windows, you can open the command prompt by clicking the start button and going to all programs, clicking accessories, and then clicking command prompt. Oh my God. Easiest way is to press Ctrl Escape and type CMD and press enter. And you have the command prompt open. If you're on Mac, you know how to do that. Command space, terminal, and there you go. You are in terminal. The command you would use to check whether Java is working fine is Java-version. So it's Java space -version. The output should be something similar to whatever you're seeing on the screen right now. It should show the Java version, which is 1.8.0-31. It doesn't really matter. As long as you have Java 1.7 or 1.8, you're good. If this doesn't come up, then there is something wrong. I would check if there are any pre-existing Java versions installed. If they were, I would install them and reinstall again. See if you have any problems with the firewalls or see if you have problems with any antivirus software. Just in case the file was corrupted during download, try downloading the installation file again and redoing this step. The other thing I would check is whether I'm on a 32-bit OS or a 64-bit OS and make sure that you are using the right exe. If you still have problems, I would recommend to go to our Facebook group in 28 minutes. You should find the link to it on my website and I'm sure there are people who are willing to help you. Once you have Java installed, you can now go ahead and install Maven. As usual, before installing Maven, I would check if Java is working fine. If Java is working fine, I'm all set to install Maven. The only other thing I would need to check is to make sure that we satisfy the JDK requirement of Java. Maven 3.3 version requires JDK 1.7. So if you are going to get the latest version of Maven, then make sure that you're using JDK 1.7. If you have JDK 1.6 or lesser, then you would need a lesser version of Maven. So if you have JDK 1.6, probably you should go for Maven 3.2. And if you have JDK 1.5, you should either go for 3.0 or 3.1, maybe 3.1. And then you can go to the Maven website and download the Maven zip file. So you just need to type in Maven download, and it would lead you to a site like this, maven.apache.org, where you can go ahead and actually download the binary zip. You don't need the source one. All that you need is the binary zip. So you can go ahead and download the binary zip and unzip it to a directory where you'd want to install Maven 3.3.3. Here I'm using 3.3.3, but the version might be a little different. It's fine as long as it's greater than 3, I think. So go ahead and install it, extract it to a folder like c:/Maven. A subdirectory would be created in this folder with a name, something like this. So it's Apache Maven 3.3.3 because the version I'm using is 3.3. Might be a little different for you, that's fine. Double click the folder and get the path to the bin folder. So if you open this folder, you would see a folder called bin in there. So what you can do is copy the path to the bin folder, the entire path to bin folder. For example, in this thing, it might be something like c:/Maven/Apache Maven -3.3.3/bin. So you copy the entire path because we would need to add that to your path environment variable. In Windows, the way you get there is by opening up system properties. So this is the shortcut key, Windows key plus pause. You can go to the advanced tab and the environment variables section. Click the environment variables button and add or edit the existing path variable and add in the folder c:/Maven/Apache Maven 3.3/bin. The path might be a little different. Be very careful. Take the path which was there from step A. The bin folder path from step A is what you would put into the path. If you are on Mac, you would need to make sure that this particular thing is available on your path. You know how to do that on Mac. Once you are done, open up your command prompt and type in the command ambient -version. You should see something of this kind. Apache Maven 3.3, it shows the Maven version, the Maven home directory, and it would show a little bit about the Java installable it's using. For Unix-based operating systems, the steps are a little different. You can see them on the screen right now. You can pause the video and go through them. If you have problems installing Maven, I'm sure you will find help on our Facebook group. Do post your problem in there with a clear description, and I'm sure you'll get help there. Let's move on and see how to install Eclipse. Go ahead and click Java-version on your command prompt and make sure that you have the version of Java installed. And then you'd go to google.com, type in download Eclipse, take the first link, select the package Eclipse IDE for Java EE developers. We would develop a lot of web applications during our tutorials, so I would prefer using Eclipse IDE for Java EE developers. If you download the one for Java developers, you would only get the functionality to develop a Java application, not a enterprise application. So if you want to develop enterprise Java applications, then you need to go for Java EE developers and choose the appropriate bit, 32-bit or 64-bit. Most probably you are on a 64-bit computer, but if you don't know, how to find out is present in step first. All that you need to do is right click your My Computer, go to Properties, and if you see x64 edition in the operating system description, then you are on 64-bit of Windows. Then you can go ahead and download the 64-bit. If you don't find it, then you can download the 32-bit. Now wait for the download to complete. Extract the zip file to a folder, for example c:/Eclipse, and go ahead and double click the eclipse.exe inside that particular folder. Eclipse should launch up and you should be all set. If you have problems launching up Eclipse, you can post it on our Facebook group and I'm sure you'd find help. There is also a troubleshooting section on the Eclipse site itself. The link to it is here. You'll also find it in the description. Now that we have installed Java, Maven, and Eclipse, we will learn how to import a Java project into Eclipse. The first things that you need to make sure when I want to import a Java project into Eclipse is that the project which I need to import contains the .class path, .project, and .settings file. So I'd go to the command prompt and go to that particular folder and do a dir command. When I do a dir command, I should see the .class path, .project, and .settings. Then you are using the right Eclipse project. This is an Eclipse project and this can be imported into Eclipse. If you don't see that, look for the folder which has that, and that would be the folder you need to import. Copy the path to that folder into clipboard. Control C on Windows. Launch up Eclipse. Give some dummy name as the workspace. It doesn't really matter. Workspace is how you organize your projects. You'll learn a lot more about it a little later, but for now, just put some folder name in there. That's good enough. Once Eclipse launches up, you need to go to File, Import, General, and Existing Projects into Eclipse. That's what is shown in here. Once you click File, Import, this is what launches up. You need to go to General, Existing Projects into Workspace, and click the next button. Browse to the folder. So browse to the folder which you copied earlier, and then you should see a project highlighted in here. Project is an Eclipse project. You should see it highlighted in here, and you can go ahead and click Finish button. And then you'd see the entire project imported into Eclipse, and you'd see something of this kind. That's it. You are set up. You are ready to get rolling and rocking with Eclipse. Now, let's learn how to import a Maven project into Eclipse. First, you need to download the zip file and unzip the zip file into a folder. Some of our tutorials contains more than one example. In that case, what we would do is we would package all the examples in different folders and have 5 folders available. For example, in a Maven tutorial, we have 5 different examples projects which we use to illustrate all the examples for Maven. So what you need to do is when you want to launch up the Maven project, you need to unzip the file. Then you would have a structure like this, and then you would need to go into the folder, and this is how you would import. So now you would want to import this particular folder in. So copy the path to this folder and import it. And when you are doing the next example, you can import the next example later. But if you are doing a simple tutorial with a single example, like the first JDBC example, then you'd only see one directory present. So just go inside that particular directory, and that contains the pom.xml, and that's the folder you need to import. Once you know which folder you would want to import, copy the path into clipboard. Launch up Eclipse, select some workspace, doesn't really matter. Just go ahead and do something, select the folder name, and go to Eclipse and go to File, Import, and inside Maven, you would see something called Existing Maven Project. So select that and click Next. After that, you can choose to browse to that particular directory based on the example you are looking at. In the video, we would specify the exact example that you need to use. Go to that particular example folder, select that. You should see something similar to the pom.xml. Go ahead and click Next. If there are multiple modules, it would show something like this. If there's only one module in that particular thing, then it would show only one pom.xml. Just go ahead and click Next now, and you're ready to use this Eclipse project. If you have problems importing any project, I'm sure you would find help on the Facebook group. Now you are ready and set up to use the Maven project in Eclipse. Go ahead and have fun. Before we end this tutorial, let's learn a couple of important Maven commands as well. The first thing is setting up. First thing is download the Maven project associated with that particular tutorial you are looking at. Extract the zip. Understand whether the zip contains one example or multiple examples, and go into the folder which contains the pom.xml for your example you are looking at. That's your root pom.xml. That's the folder you need to copy. So copy that into clipboard. For example, for our Maven tutorial, we have this kind of a structure. If I want to work on the multi-module Maven project, then what I would do is copy the path to multi-module Maven project, and I would do a CD to that particular folder. So I would do a CD and go to that particular folder. Once you go there, you should see a pom.xml in there as well. And now you can go ahead and try the Maven commands. Ambient clean install. Ambient clean install is used to build the project and install it to the local repository. So you can run it, and you would see an output something similar to this. Once you run ambient clean install, it would run for some time because it downloads all the binaries, and it would show something similar to the screen you are seeing on the screen right now. So it would show that all the modules are successful. If there is only one module, it would show one module success. That means you have Maven installed properly, and you are able to run the command ambient clean install. The next important command is ambient tomcat 7 run. Ambient tomcat 7 run is used to run web applications. So the most important thing to ensure is that you are inside a var pom.xml. You need to be inside folder which contains the pom.xml for the var file. So what I need to do is first build the entire project. So I'll run ambient clean install on the entire project, and then I'd go inside the folder for the var. So here in this example, I have the var file inside web servlet JSP folder. If you're using struts, it might be inside in 28 minutes struts some folder, and if you're using Spring MVC or Spring Web Services, then it would be in 28 minutes Spring MVC or Spring Web Services kind of a folder. So once you cd to that folder, you can type in the command mvn tomcat7 : run. Once you do mvn tomcat7 : run and press enter, the Tomcat server should be downloaded and it should be run, and the web application should be deployed into the Tomcat server. And you should be able to launch up the application in localhost 8080. You can see what port which is used to launch the application also in the console log which is printed. So here I can see 8080 here, and that's the URL I would go to. You should see an application launch up, and you're all set. Thanks for watching this installation guide. I hope this installation guide helped you to install all the tools that you needed. The next step for you would be to learn all the tutorials that we have offered on our channel. Happy learning until we see next time. Bye-bye.